Welcome to Watch Symposium. I'm Austin. Should Rolex make their registry of stolen watches available to the public? That's the question. Now, you might not know this, but the slogan of Rolex is, you never actually own a Rolex, you just rent it from Rolex SA Geneva and think you own it. I don't know why. They don't really use that in advertisements a lot. But, you know, if you've ever taken your watch to RSC, you know that the way they treat it, it almost feels like it's not even your watch. They make decisions on the watch. They demand you do certain things. They don't give back pieces. You'll pay for a new part and they'll keep the old part. And again, it feels like you don't have full control over your own watch. It feels like they still feel like they have a hand in what happens to your watch. Control, that's the operative word here, and that's what's at play. Now, of course, they don't want those parts going back to you because they don't want you cobbling together a fake Rolex and selling it. So it's kind of to protect their customers, but also even small parts, and I'm thinking about the wheel on my friend Jay's Yachtmaster. I'll put a link in the description to that video, but they showed it to us, but they said we couldn't have it back. We, meaning Jay, because they don't want us selling that bum part to a watchmaker because there's a problem with it and it could come back to bite a Rolex owner. But again, control, that's the operative word here. That's how they protect their brand. And you know, they're one of the top companies in the world, and having control is the way they can ensure and protect their position. Now, if you haven't seen Paul Thorpe's video, link in the description. He's talking with his friend Spencer, and it's a really interesting video, and he talks about a conspiracy theory that he has. And what I like about it is that he puts a question mark on that conspiracy theory, meaning he's acknowledging the fact that he might just be pulling it out of thin air, and so I respect that. Now, in this video, I'm going to play devil's advocate here. If Rolex were to make the stolen watch registry public, well, everybody could see it, and that would be really helpful to people like Spencer and Paul Thorpe, but it could really help out the criminals, and that's the point. Now, if you had a watch stolen, would you want the criminals to be able to see that it was stolen? It very likely would remain on the gray market. Or would you prefer that stolen watch registry remain private and cross your fingers and hope that 5 or 10 years down the road, after that watch has changed hands a few times, that it would make its way back to RSC, be flagged, and you would get a call and be able to get your watch back? One other thing that they bring up is that in 2010, Rolex stopped making serial numbers that allow you to identify the age of their watches. And again, it's all about control. Now, if you have the card, then you can date the watch, of course, but if you don't, well, if it's a 2011 piece and on, it's a little harder to date. And so for somebody like Spencer, having that information would be useful if he doesn't have the card. And that's not a bug of Rolex, that's a feature. I mean, they don't make decisions to help out people like Spencer, that's for sure. And so that might be why they did that. Now, for the average customer, does it make much of a difference? Well, not really. If you've got a Rolex watch, you can take it by RSC, and they'll look at the serial number, and they'll be able to date your watch and find out a lot of information about your watch. And that's important, and they want to protect that. They don't want people like Spencer to have that information because they're not in the business of helping out the gray market. If anything, they like the fact that the gray market doesn't have this kind of information, and the gray market doesn't have information about their stolen watches. And I bring up the CPO program because when you buy a piece through the CPO program, you can rest assured that it's not going to be stolen, and that's not something that you can be assured of when you buy from the gray market. And for Rolex, that's a good thing. So yeah, it doesn't help out Spencer and other gray market dealers, and that's kind of the point. Now, a lot of people say that, well, what about Paul's 16710? He didn't get it back. And I've thought about that. It probably had changed hands a few times. My guess is that Rolex was confused about who exactly was the true owner of that watch. Now, if Paul was the original owner of that watch, the original purchaser of that watch, and he bought it from an authorized dealer and had all the documentation, my guess is he would be protected. My guess is that Rolex protects the people that buy from the authorized dealers and the original owners, and I think they'll probably protect the CPO purchasers as well. So I think if Paul had bought that at an authorized dealer and had all the documentation, my guess is he would have his 16710 back. And that's kind of a scary thing if you're one of many owners of pre-owned piece. I mean, you're looking at one right now. Now, going back to the stolen watch registry, now, by making it available to everybody, well, bad guys, criminals could check to see if a watch was stolen and keep it underground, keep it on the black market, sell it to people who know it's hot and are cool with it. And you know, honestly, there are a lot of honest people that might get a stolen watch, and if they were able to find out if it was stolen, they might just decide to keep it. I mean, think about it. You pay $10,000 for a watch and you find out after the fact it's stolen and you still have it. A lot of people are going to rationalize it and justify it and say, you know, I don't know what happened. All I know is I paid $10,000 for this watch, and if I take it to RSC, they're going to take it away. And CM might not take it to RSC. You might have it serviced through a third party, so you can hold on to that watch, just trying to kind of protect your investment. It's not the right thing, but a lot of people would do it. So let me ask you this. If you had a watch stolen and you knew it was bouncing around out there somewhere, would you want the stolen watch registry that Rolex has made public? Do you think you'd get your watch back like that faster? Or would you cross your fingers and hope in the future that it would wind up at RSC and you'd get a call? Which would you prefer? Let me know. Take care. Thanks for watching. See you next time.